All right. Welcome to a HouseSigma Presents. This one's particularly geared towards the centralized agent communication channel. Very excited to announce this. We've been working on this on the back end for quite a while now with Schumann and the rest of the team. Of course, Steven's heavily involved in this as well. Ultimately, we're looking to streamline the communication between the agents and the actual management team ultimately at the end of the day, both on the deals and accounting, both me and Steven, and maybe any other managers that may be joining in the future. So as right before we started recording, Steven actually made a very good point. As we're growing Canada-wide and maybe in future in other countries in the future, we definitely need to narrow down our process even further. Especially when it comes to the communication with the agents and the management team. So as you guys know, right now, we have just a group chat where you guys kind of drop in a question or you usually request a call and you will hear from either Steven or I. But ultimately, there is a lot more going on in the back end, especially with accounting and deals. So we want to make sure you guys have an easy way to access them as well for your quick questions or long questions, whatever it is. So that feature is going to be added here as well. Now, another key thing I will say is, we get a lot of the request a call messages that come in, and believe me, we absolutely adore and love talking to you guys. And I know each scenario is a little bit more complicated than others. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to mute some people here. 1 second.
Yeah, sorry, Ash. I was trying to help out, but it seems that I don't have the option to.
No, it's all good. That was my bad. It's all good. Let me just mute a couple people. Yeah, so we're gonna be good. Yeah, so as much as we love speaking to you guys on the phone, because I know sometimes it's a little bit more detailed questions that you have to, or sensitive information that you have to reveal, and we don't feel comfortable as agents, because I'm an agent as well. Just remember that I'm out there selling. So is Steven as well. He's an agent. He's a lot of experience, so he knows where you guys are coming from. When it comes to a detailed question with a scenario that you have to break down, and there's sensitive information being shared, you don't want to drop it in a public forum, public chat with the entire team looking in, right? So that just makes me uncomfortable as well, just thinking about it, right? So with this new process that we have, it's just going to make your life a lot easier, okay? So the first key thing I must outline again is it's going to be a private conversation between you and the management member. And that thread stays alive. Okay, it's never going to go away. So we can always go back and track communication from there. But how does it work, right? Let's just start off with the basics. And I made it my goal for this call and this meeting just to really simplify this as much as possible. So I don't want you guys to worry how things are working on the back end from the management side. Just want to worry what you guys have to do to get in touch with us, right? So there's 2 key phone numbers that you have to make sure you jot down. And Steven has put in a lot of work in the ATK, the Agent Toolkit, and outlining the entire process, and has the phone numbers there as well for you to click on. But ultimately, you'll have one phone number that you need to save on your WhatsApp contacts for HouseSigma Management. So that's the 647-360-2330 phone number. You guys all recognize this office number. And then you have a second number that I encourage you guys to save. And this is more tailored towards deals and accounting. So the 289-806-3269. So 2 separate numbers you're going to save on your contacts on WhatsApp. And whenever you do have any questions, you simply drop in a message there, knowing it's a direct message to the management member, and they will respond to you accordingly. Okay. And so keep in mind, all communication will be through WhatsApp. You don't need to download anything new, no new apps, no new systems, nothing like that. It's really as simplified as possible for you. So if you have a question, drop it in. You'll see the prompt here. The management question that will come up is just to confirm who you are, your contact email and phone number, just so we make sure we're responding to the right person, and that thread stays alive here. Okay. Now, Steven, while I have you on the call, remind me, is the voice messages don't work in this scenario, right? It has to be just through text.
No, actually, the agents can send us voice messages, Ash. It's more, this was like kind of a comment to you because I know you love to send voice
Yeah,
messages, so it
yeah.
might not work from our back end. But
Okay.
if you guys want to share something, and let's say you're driving or you can't just type it in and you want to send a voice note, you can always send us a voice note as well. And just Ash, before you move on, a couple of points just to elaborate on. First of all, this confirmation only happens once, so you don't have to, every time you type in a question, you're not going to be required to confirm your phone number and email. This is only done once, the first time you send a request to each number. And then one more thing, because I know a lot of agents are joining us only through audio, and you might be driving or you didn't get a chance to jot down the numbers. It's updated on the agent toolkit right on your homepage. Once you go to the agent toolkit, I just published it before we started the meeting. On your homepage, you'll find two hyperlinks. They're icons that just have HouseSigma Management and Deals in Accounting with the WhatsApp logo on it. All you have to do is just tap or click on it if you're on your computer, and it will automatically start a WhatsApp conversation for you. You don't need to worry about anything, even saving the numbers. It's all in your agent toolkit.
Beautiful. I greatly appreciate that, Stephen. And make life a lot easier from our end. So thank you for that. And just going on to the next slide here, just some of the key feature benefits, right? And we touched on the first part here. It's the privacy for the agents. That's the main thing we were pushing on, is we just want you guys to be able to speak freely in this communication with the management member, knowing that there isn't 200 other agents kind of maybe looking in or maybe drop their own opinions in. You'll get tailored answers for any sort of situation that you're going through. And again, minimizes confusion on who the agent needs to reach out to for the answers as well, right? So now you have your dedicated accounting and deals, and then you have the management side with both Stephen and I. And listen, ultimately, once we're growing the company, as we get more agents on board, we're going Canada-wide and in different countries in the future, we'll need to be able to track these inquiries, right? We need to see, okay, how much questions, how much flow is coming through, and do we have enough management members to really support you guys at the end of the day, right? And there's only really one way to do it in a, I would say, in timely manner. So this system will help us out quite a bit in knowing how many inquiries are coming in and do we have enough staff to support you guys at the end of the day. Okay.
And Ash, sorry to cut you off again. Just to add one more thing, I know we might have some agents from BC joining us as well. So Karen is also involved in that. She's our BC manager. She comes with tons of knowledge, not just on the BC side, but also with FinTrack. You don't really need to worry about who you're sending your question to. If you just have a question about a deal or you need help, you reach out to the HouseSigma management number, and we'll connect you to the right person, whether it's me, Ash, or Karen. Anyone else in the management who can help you out. And we can also include other people. So if there's an agent who's chatting with Ash, and let's say Ash needs my help, they can include me in the conversation or otherwise. So yeah.
Exactly. That is a very good point as well. We can definitely collaborate with each other to answer your questions and scenarios that do happen, right? And we know every scenario is a little bit different. Every scenario really needs a tweak of an answer to you guys. That's why we got these tailored responses going to come your way. So, you know, the last thing I always want is like one generic answer for another agent to see and think that applies to their situation, and it might not, right? There might be something that needs to be tweaked along the way. So this is why this is so beneficial for us. It's private one-on-one conversations that we're having, okay? And just keep in mind that the chat history, again, will be there when supporting you guys. So we can always go back, look at pictures, voice notes, anything that's going to be, nothing's going to be lost or any confusion whatsoever. And as Steven mentioned, there's picture and file sharing alongside with the chat functions. Voice notes, that's great as well. So you guys know, anyone chatting with me on WhatsApp, I'm a big fan of voice notes. So if you send them over, you'll get the fastest responses that way. But ultimately, I will tell you, we are trying to move slightly away from the requesting phone calls. But if it's a pressing matter and it really needs to be done, definitely, we can definitely still jump on a call with you. But we want to always use this text communication as the first line. And then if there's really need to be escalated further, we can definitely do that. It's not a problem. Now, Steven, did you want to add anything else on this point?
No, not really. Like from the agent side, aside from you guys reaching out to those two numbers instead of just posting your question in the HouseSigma app or HouseSigma management group, there's really nothing else will change for you. You can share files, you can send us links, we can send you files. So it's pretty easy to for you on your side, nothing will change. And it's also pretty easy for us from that side to make sure that we can get back to you on time and just cater to each agent in privacy.
Yeah, and it also helps on from our backend system. It really helps quite a bit because now all the files are separated, everything's tailored to each individual agent, and it's not jumbled up in a long group chat, right? So you can see how on the backend for us, it also makes a huge difference, right? In really being able to serve you better. Now, ultimately, this will lead to the 2-week countdown for the WhatsApp management group chat removal. So we will be removing that completely in about 2 weeks from now. Stephen will be taking care of that part. So moving forward, make sure you guys save those 2 different phone numbers correctly under your contacts and then message us there moving forward. Anything else, Stephen, you want to add? That's really it for me. I will open it up to any questions as well if they want to come in. Like I said, we wanted to simplify this call as much as possible.
Yeah, and as we mentioned before we started the recording, and I know some people joined after, you might be wondering, like, why are we making this change? It's not just the privacy, but we are also thinking that as we grow, we want to make sure that we maintain the same level of support. Whenever you reach out, there's someone who can get back to you within that time frame that you need. And yeah, it might be working right now, but as we scale more and more, we want to make sure that this process is as efficient as possible. And that's one of the reasons why we're also implementing this.
Exactly. We're all about scalability, right? That's what we're all about here. So, you guys are dealing with a high volume of leads. You guys already know all the different methods that we're using Follow Up Boss with to help you scale your business. Same idea on this end for us providing service to you guys ultimately, right?
And this will take also, yeah, and this will also take some work from your side. If you guys have a question, just type it in as a text. This will make it much faster for us to get back to you than requesting just a phone call. Obviously, again, as Ash mentioned, if there's something that requires a phone call or something that requires more of a discussion or more detail, we're more than happy to give you a phone call, but we want to make sure that we can get back to everyone as fast as we can. So text will speed up this process.
Definitely. And is there any questions, guys? Feel free to drop in the chat box on mic. We're here to answer any questions that you may have.
So John says management group was a learning tool for the rest of the team. When one agent is stuck, now this tool will be gone.
Yeah, John, listen, I get that. That was one topic that definitely did come up on the management side of things, right? We do understand that, but we also are a believer there isn't a tailored answer for every situation, right? So like we can't just take one answer and apply it to every agent situation. That can actually get agents into more trouble at the end of the day, right? That's why when they were requesting a call, they got into a little bit more details and be able to solve that directly with them. Ultimately, this will get you serviced a lot faster and get you the right information in a timely manner, right? That's the key. We just want to make sure you guys get the right info always.
Yeah, I also want to add, we do have a tool that's also great for you to find whatever you want, which is the Agent Toolkit. And I know right now there's lots of great resources and information on it, but I'm also working on a lot of things in our Agent Toolkits, and hopefully I can get it to where I think it should be. I'm going to be working on reorganizing things to make it as easy as possible for you to find the checklists you want, your clauses. So there will be updates to the Agent Toolkit, and anything that I think John, going back to your question, if there's any question that comes up that I think it could be a great learning experience for all of us, it will definitely be shared one way or another, either through one of our Tuesday or Friday meetings, or we can do this on the Agent Toolkit.
Definitely. No, I appreciate the question, John. We do have a few more coming in. Swell is asking, can we have any facilities for private office, like a corporate deal with Regis? So believe it or not, we actually had that for a very, very, very long time, since the very beginning. But I can tell you it was used very rarely amongst the agents, to a point where most of our agents that were really active, they were doing deals, they were really on the road. And I always say, if you're busy, you're on the road, and you're really working from the car ultimately. And we're a cloud-based brokerage, so as of right now, there's no future plans to bring back Regis as a private office, but we'll definitely think about that. So thank you for the question. I do have another one here from Germany. Hello, Germany, new here. Is there a new calendar of upcoming meetings or training sessions? Just curious if we can get a calendar invites when something is planned coming up. Steve, I know you update the actual homepage on the ATK with that calendar fairly regularly. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the homepage on the 80K used to actually have a calendar, but I thought it was very cluttered and messy on the homepage, especially on mobile phones. So now it's just a big icon that says live webinar and training schedule. And if you click on that, it will show you the Google Calendar. It also depends on the agent toolkit you're using. So if we have agents from BC and they are using their 80K from BC, it will only show you what's relevant to BC. Same thing for Ontario. So that's, yeah, just to answer your question, available on the agent toolkit on the homepage.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you for Steven for always taking care of that. And yeah, any other questions, guys? Please send them through. Again, it's a pretty simple feature add-on, but it's going to make a big significant bonus for both sides, both the agent side and the management side. See if there's anything else that comes through.
I don't think we have any more questions coming in.
Okay. Anyone want to unmic and ask anything?
I would like to ask a question. I just didn't get it. When do we start using that new group chat, whatever
it's available from today. So like we will phase out the HouseSigma management group in 2 weeks, but it's available from today. If you have a management question, just send it to the 647 number. Again, it's all on the agent toolkit. If it's a question to deals or accounting, you can do it like through the other number, the 289. And they're both available and active as of right now.
Perfect. Okay. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Martin, always good seeing you, man.
Likewise.
Ashkan, sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
With the offices, I know, I mean, I'm focusing on it because I have a situation with a kid like you, and I really need to be out of home. So the Regis that you had before, it was just one location, but I know they are available in different areas. So I don't know if you guys can talk maybe for all the agents, if they want to go talk to any location, they can have like a discount kind of a thing like that. I was thinking like that wise.
Definitely. So I can definitely run that by the rest of the management team offline and see what we can potentially discover for you guys. I loved it personally. I get where you're coming from. So you need some space to maybe work in. I get it. And the Starbucks and Timmy's only goes so far. And renting your own office monthly can get expensive. So believe me, I definitely know where you're coming from. We'll definitely.
Yeah, right now it's like $1,000 for each month.
Yeah, it gets expensive for sure. We'll run it by them and see what we can squeeze out. But ultimately, just so you guys know, we did have it for a long time, and we just found that it wasn't being used. But we'll see if there's any sort of discounts we can somehow get for you guys across Ontario or even BC and Alberta as well, because I know Regis is a great company. I really enjoyed using their offices for sure.
Thank you.
Yes, and Ottawa, Alex.
Ottawa. Okay. Okay. Any more questions specifically related to the new communication channel? Because I want to make sure we tackle those questions before we wrap up for today.
Of course. Seems like we're all set. Yeah, so this is recorded. We're going to send it out again so you guys can have another look. And check out the ADK, you know, send a message through if anything comes up. And we're looking forward to hearing from you guys.
Thank you, Ash. Thanks everyone for joining us. We hope that we answered your questions. And if you have any more questions, we know something might come up, just feel free to reach out, preferably through the new system. So
yeah, that's
you
right.
can at least try it out.
Amazing. Take care, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.